Howdy, howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show, and it's me.
What's up, nerds?
Hey, everybody.
What was that?
Hello. Hi.
It's everyone's favorite app consultant, Matt Stepp.
Yeah, that's me, right? Yeah. Me, app developer.
Famous
Hello.
for app development.
Blame me for the app not working.
Okay. All right. Let's get out in front of this.
Yeah.
I know y'all are mad because the app went down last night. And it did. It did. The app went down, and we're going to call our own foul. One of the things about whenever you develop an app, especially an app where tens of thousands of people are going to be on it at once, thanks for downloading, is that there's no way to test the throttle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't stress test it.
You can't stress test it. Until last night, we learned a lot, and we feel like we've made some fixes that it's going to be better. It's going to be working better tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so here's just an overview, I would say, of do's and don'ts with the app. Do send us constructive criticism at app@texasfootball.com.
Yes.
If there's a feature that you'd like to see added to the app@texasfootball.com.
Yeah.
Say,
Or if it's not
hey,
working correctly.
or if it's not working correctly,
yeah.
if you're wondering, if there's a game missing, which can happen and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
app@texasfootball.com. Send us constructive criticism. Here's what you shouldn't do, which is just be like,
Be rude.
the app sucks.
Yeah. Or yell at me at a
Or
game.
yell at you. What are you going to do? Steph got yelled at last night at the game because, the app was down. And we're sorry.
It's not our fault.
Listen,
it is and it isn't. It's one of the things is we couldn't stress test it.
Yeah.
And so it's you have to see how it breaks to understand how to fix it in certain ways.
If I knew how to develop an app, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
I'd probably be making
Bank.
significantly more bank than I am now, which thank you. Thank you for paying me. I appreciate it. but I would probably be making a lot more money.
I
if
think
knew
you
how to
would.
develop
If you could
an app.
develop
I
it.
just don't know how.
App-
I'm a journalist with a lowercase j.
app@texasfootball.com. If you have constructive criticism, don't email it and say the app sucks. That's not helpful.
We're not going to be able to know what to
We're
do.
not going to be able to do that. I don't know. It's one of those things that I think maybe this is weird, but I hope that you guys understand that we're not some big faceless corporation. The people sitting in this room represent a third of the workforce here. We're a small company and we're trying to get this thing done.
And everyone in this office is really upset that the app didn't work last night and was up
It's
all
not
night
like we're
last night.
just, oh, yeah, sorry about you. You
Yeah.
can't do
We
anything about it.
we
No, we
genuinely-
care.
We like the app a lot.
We genuinely
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. So if
Hi, Brian Riddles. Unfortunately, I am not an app developer, but I can promise you that we are trying very hard to get the app fixed.
Yes,
I've
I
seen
know.
you make lots of comments on our Facebook page, and we're trying, Brian.
Brian, I'm trying. You should
Yeah.
just start tweeting I'm trying, Jennifer.
Yeah. We really are
I'm trying, Karen.
It's going to be a work in progress.
It will be.
But we think when it's finished, it will be a better product.
Yes, guys, we understand. We're calling our own foul. The app went down last night. We're sorry. We're sorry. I, on behalf of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, will issue an apology that the app went down last night. We think we've put in some measures to make it fixed, to make it work better tonight. We hope.
We'll hope. Yeah,
We
we'll
hope so.
see.
You know what I mean?
It's the first Friday night of the app.
We're
so
trying.
We maybe next time we should find 1.5 million people and stress
hire
test
them
it.
all
Yeah.
to stress test the app.
Yeah, we'll
we
try.
can fit them all in this office, right? 1.5 million people in
Yeah,
this office
our
to try and
huge, our
test it.
enormous office here.
Mm-hmm.
We're living luxury
Anyway,
here.
so we are, in all honesty, we are sorry that the app went down last night. We are trying very hard to get it fixed, to make it so that it'll work tonight, so that you can enter scores and so you can read the scores and things like that, because we know it's important to you guys. Because it's important to us, too, because we are high
Our
school
name's on it. Our
Yeah.
name is on the app.
Well, I would just even go as far as to say we use the app we're high school football
Yeah,
fans.
we use it too.
We want to see the scores roll in too. So we apologize for the app going down. We are aware of the issues. We are working on fixing them.
And we're prioritizing, right?
And
We're
we
not
are
going to be able to
prioritizing.
get all of the functionality back in one fell swoop. We have to prioritize the things that are most important and add those kind of in stages. So you hopefully will start to see, number one, work better tonight, and then number two, additional functionality added as the weeks go on. We'll try to add, take baby steps and add them here and there because we can't change it all in one fell swoop.
Here's the thing. We know you guys love the app because we love the app too. and we know you want it to succeed. So help us to let it succeed is to give us a little bit of grace. Let us call our own foul and fix these things. Give us a little bit of grace. Trust us to fix it. Trust us that we know that we want this app to be as good as it can be, and to give you the functionality that you come to expect. And if you have constructive criticism, things that you would like to see added, email app@texasfootball.com. Okay?
That's all you have to do. It's so easy.
We love you guys. We hope that you love us too. Let's all work through this together, and I promise you we'll all be able to celebrate Texas high school football. Okay. Hit the theme expo. Let's go! Free money! Free money!
Hey, how to sing the blue way. Put shot glass in your hand.
Yes, go! From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Louisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, the most listened to rock and roll morning show in the great Southwest. My name is Greg Tupper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at texasfootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting here at this chair, sitting over at the helm today. She is my mal pal. She is your mal pal. She's everyone's mal pal. She's Mallory Hartley. Hi, Mallory.
Hi. And QB2. Remember we discussed we were going to be QB2.
Our QB2.
Yeah.
She's our QB2. And sitting to my right is our...
What does that make me?
FB2?
I don't know.
Backup fullback.
Yeah.
Ooh, rough.
Yeah, awesome.
Matthew Stepp. Matt
Yes.
Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football Insider. Hello, Matt.
Hello. How are you?
Happy football season,
Happy
buddy.
Friday.
Happy Football Friday.
Yes. Yeah.
Today is Friday, August 27th, 2021, a day we've been waiting for a very, very, very long time. It is 90 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to... Did you have a birthday?
I actually didn't. I don't think
Let's see.
I really even
Happy
know
birthday
anybody on here.
to...
There's some TikTok.
Oh!
It's all like TikTok people.
You know whose,
Exactly. See, it's a
whose
TikTok
birthday it is?
Jack Black.
Okay.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
That's the first one I saw that I recognized on
That's
there,
good.
so I had to shout it out.
That's a good birthday.
I was going to say today is the birthday of Aaron Paul, who played Jesse on Breaking Bad.
Oh.
I
I haven't watched.
give me Jack Black.
You know who else
Yeah,
is always
yeah.
on these lists of famous birthdays? And because it's way more popular than I think it is.
Brady Keene, because it's our special boy Brady Keene's
Whoa!
birthday.
Happy
today.
birthday, Brady!
Yeah.
No, it's always like wrestlers. Like, there's
It
always
is.
wrestlers on here. Like today is the birthday of
Like mankind's birthday or
the
something.
great Khali.
I don't know. Who
Sure,
that is.
man.
The great Kabuki.
Yeah, and
I know the great Kabuki.
TikTok
Dude,
stars
it was the guy who
too.
blew the
Yeah.
mist.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That
the
was
great
awesome.
Kabuki. Yeah.
This is episode 1,200 and something. On today's
29.
show, 29. Thank you.
Mhm.
On today's show, friends, we're gonna talk a little bit about last night, the games that went down in the first night of the Texas high school football season. Talk a little bit about that, and then back half the show it is Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
Honda.
We will answer your questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel. Anything you got, get them in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. We will get to as many as we can. Step, do you have a heart out?
No, I brought my business computer.
We
in,
can
so.
go until games kick off. We're not doing that.
No.
No.
We will go until we run out of questions, or 12:45.
Yeah, I think 12:45.
12:45.
Yeah,
Mhm.
12:45 is a good out.
Do we have first four through the door, Mallory?
We sure do. It was Aaron Arbuckle, William Dyson, Rob Hadaway, and Terry Crawford. Welcome in,
Coach Crawford.
fellas.
Crawford.
Yeah.
What's up, friends? Okie dokie. So, okay, we mentioned this on the pre-show, but I'll put this out here right now. Hi, we have an app. Perhaps you've heard of it. The Texas, the Football Friday app, which you can download in the Google Play or the Apple Store. We got some feedback on it last night. And the biggest thing about it is that the app was down last night. The app went down on a Thursday night, which is bad because we like you having the scores and being able to input the scores and celebrate high school football. I get it, and I'm frustrated as well. We believe we've made some fixes that'll make it so that it'll be more robust and so that it'll be more functional tonight. You will need to bear with us as we work through some things that you can only find by it being blasted by 25,000 people at once. So please bear with us. Give us a little bit of grace. We promise we are aware of it. We are working on it, and will be a great app when it works, which it is. It should work tonight, hopefully, knock on wood. God willing, the creek don't rise. If you have app feedback as far as things that you would like to see, functionalities you would like to see added to the app, you can go to email app@texasfootball.com. So, app@texasfootball.com if you have constructive feedback.
Constructive feedback.
Thank you.
Help us.
A public service announcement from your friends at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Matthew, last night was the first game. I don't know if you knew this. But last night was
Mallory actually told me on the track that it was the opening night of Texas high school football.
Weird.
Yeah.
She let me know.
And
yeah.
you guys were in
Burleson.
Burleson.
Yeah.
Elks. Watching Burleson, correct me if I'm wrong, take
Throttle.
it to our Abilene White.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, it was pretty impressive. John Kitna's squad looked sharp. Dylan Raiola, the highly touted sophomore quarterback, who's already got some Division I offers. The son of former Detroit Lions center Dominic Raiola. Looked really good. He's also a stud baseball player as well, but he can spin it at the quarterback spot. He looks the part. He's really good. Burleson's got a solid team. They're going to be in the playoff mix. Obviously Alito is a team to beat in that district, but they'll be in the playoff mix.
So last night, first of all, Mallory, did you have a good time?
I did. I was kind of doing something different than what Steph was doing. I was working activation. The Honda.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were just going to stop
Speaking
at
of
working.
Honda, no.
Well.
Speaking of Honda, yeah, Honda was out there, and I was making sure everything ran smoothly.
I thought you were
and
just
stuff
going to
like
say,
that,
Mallory
was
did a great
working
job.
I
as
just
opposed
working.
She did a great job with the activation. Her and Chandra did a good job with
Thank you.
Honda and everything
Appreciate
that
that.
went with that.
And here's how I phrased it last night. I quote tweeted you as like they went up, like Burleson went up 28-0. I characterized Burleson as an agent of chaos in Region 2, in the sense that I don't think Burleson's probably going to win Region 2 this year, but I think they could ruin some seasons. I think they could I think they're going to be, when they play to their paper, they could be the kind of team that could up and nip somebody.
And Kitna's he's a gambler.
Yeah.
He's for lack of a better term, wild ass.
Yeah.
They onside kicked the first 4 times.
Yes.
They opened the season with an onside kick and recovered it.
Agent of
They're just
chaos.
They're just gonna play, and they're one of those teams that you probably hate to play because they've got a great quarterback. They're really dynamic offensively, and they take a lot of chances on special teams.
Unpredictable.
Yeah. So they're probably not going to be a fun team to play, especially as an underdog when they really got nothing to lose.
So I was home, and I poured myself a little bit of a beverage, and I kicked back, and I enjoyed the broadcast on Texan Live as the Carthage Bulldogs took on the Crosby Cougars in a fabulous game.
I had that game on the tablet. There was no Wi-Fi in the press box. First world problems. So my phone as a hotspot was trying to keep up with the computer and the tablet at the game. So it was buffering for me, but I got a chance to. I was keeping up with it because that might be one of the most impressive wins that Carthage has had in the past few years.
So and here's the thing: you're probably thinking, like, what's the big deal? Like Carthage or Crosby was reloading, first game of the year. Why is it so impressive? So Carthage went down 17-0 in this game. Went down 17-0. Ended up winning this game 27-24. Came out like a house of fire in the second half. Looked really good. That defense is something serious.
Yeah, they were down 17-0 with 5 turnovers.
They put the ball on the ground. They could not stop turning the ball over.
5 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah. It was bad, and I'm sure Scott Surratt was pulling his hair out. And give Crosby some credit. I thought that Ciaran Miles, he got a little bit nicked up late in the game, but I thought that quarterback was real solid. And this Cameron Kirkwood, their wide receiver, he's a dynamo, man.
Yeah.
That kid can go.
The Crosby number 40, the defensive lineman, was really good. Crosby's got some rangy defensive backs who can cover a lot. They're gonna be really good.
They're gonna be really good.
I thought the most important. Carthage had several guys out due to COVID protocols, also. And I think especially in the first half, up front, I think they were missing 3 starters on the offensive line, and I think
it's a 5 AD2 finalist.
And they were down. I think they were started a third string run. I think their top 2 running backs were also out. So they were not able to run the football at all last night. But they still almost doubled Crosby in yardage because Carthage, that's the dynamics. The dynamics, they can, when you stop the run, they can throw it. And they relied on the pass and got it done.
They cycled through 2 different quarterbacks. Yeah. That Jacob Rockamore looked pretty solid.
Rockamore looked good. He put the ball on the ground a little too much, and I think that's when they went to cuff. And I thought
is it cuff or cup? I was trying to listen to our friend Chase Snyder.
I think it's cuff.
Okay, I would need to
If it's not cuff, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To your mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Cuff or Cup, I'm sorry.
Let's see.
But they
Connor Cuff, you got it.
Yeah, so
in my face.
I think Rockamore looked good. They moved the ball when Rockamore was in the game. They just turned the ball over, and Cuff took care of the ball a little bit better, and that's why Coach Surratt I think went with the hot hand.
And but you're right. I mean, you talk about a gutty win that because Crosby had him on the ropes, man.
17-0. You're down 17-0 to the defending 5A Division II state runner-up.
Hi.
I was testing it out. It doesn't look good. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll probably just do 2 one-shots. But yeah, it was. I watched that game almost stem to stern. And it was impressive. Yeah. I mean, and you saw. I mean, it's such a cliche, but hi, that's heart of a champion stuff, man. That's like
you're bringing out the real cliches.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay.
That is gutty. That is like finding a way when you're not at your best and you're missing a lot of guys. I mean, this does not change my opinion of Crosby. I think they're going to be really good again. Yep. I think that this solidifies my opinion of Carthage that they are the team to beat in 4A Division.
Do you think Carthage is going to stay number 1 in 482 next week?
I am actually going to drop them out of the top 10. Drop them out of the top 10. Number 14, Carthage. Yeah, it was awfully impressive. Anything else from Thursday night really stood out to you? I thought Yule's Trinity looked good. The Ollie Gordon experiment at quarterback is going well.
Returns are good after the first week.
Yes.
How about Geyer? That was a pretty dominant win over Hebron last night. I thought that was impressive.
And Hebron tends to, in my estimation, Hebron tends to be pretty good out of the gates too. So like this is not one of those teams that there are teams that traditionally start slow. One team that always springs to mind that like they just get better as the season goes on is La Vega. Like La Vega would be the kind of thing that like if they were to look like off in week 1, it'd be like that's just kind of what La Vega does. They're a build throughout the course of the year type team. Yeah. Hebron usually comes out looking pretty good, and so for Geyer to look like that, oh boy.
Atascocita, very impressive win over Klein Collins, 48-7. I'm not sure anyone was more impressive than College Station last night.
Yeah.
That game. I mean, they were up 42-0 in early second quarter on a 6A school.
I don't think Hutto's bad.
No,
I don't think Hutto's bad.
Hutto's a bad team at all.
I think College Station's that good.
So they played that game at the Paffield
in Pflugerville.
Yeah, because Hutto Stadium is being remodeled. And Pflugerville ISD AD Todd Raymond texted me this morning and goes, "Man, College Station is the real deal."
Yeah,
and we have them ranked 3rd, and they I think they lived up to that ranking in the to start. And I guess Southlake Carroll's got a quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to mention that Southlake
Carroll.
I guess they have a quarterback.
So I need to go back. I DVR'd it. I need to go back and watch that game. I might do that because I'm the coolest guy you know. I might go back and do that this afternoon while I'm like relaxing before doing the stuff on Bally. But everything that I was hearing, I had a friend of mine was at the game, and she texted me, and she goes, "Who's this running back for Southlake Carroll?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Owen Allen, and he's awesome."
No offers either. No offers yet.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've given up on trying to project offer who's going to get offered because I'm like, this kid's awesome. You should let him play for your team.
Yeah,
you know. But Owen Allen was great. Caden Anderson, it looked like he was real sharp. Did exactly what they asked him to do.
Especially, I thought early in the game to let him kind of grow into the game a little bit. They a lot of short stuff, lot of bubbles, a lot of screen passes, a lot of just quick outs, just things to kind of get him in a rhythm.
And I'll just say this, man. Like I said it on the Picks video, and I'm not here to toot my own horn, but toot, 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 toot. I told you the Southlake Carroll defense is going to be serious.
Yeah, they had
that defense is. I mean, against a Highland Park team that they're reloading and they're figuring things out, but they're always reloading, right? And they just don't take a ton of regular season losses.
Yeah,
plain and simple. I mean, yes, Southlake Carroll's a 6A. We should be very clear, but I thought that the Carroll defense acquitted themselves very well.
Very good. How about Rio Hondo down in the Rio Grande Valley? Did not play football last year. Sat out all of 2020 due to the pandemic. 65-0 win. great start for the
How about
Bobcats
that?
and Rocky James's ball
Shout
club.
out to
first,
Rio Hondo.
First game in almost 2 years.
Early-
Almost 2 years, and they.
I'm looking at our intern, early nominee for team to watch for next week, maybe.
I included them as possible Coach of the Week candidate as well.
There you
So
go.
we'll be fighting over that one.
Anyway, you can find all the scores at texasfootball.com/scores.
Yes, the scores are up on texasfootball.com/scores.
Yes,
That does work.
texasfootball.com/scores is where you can find all the scores from last night. Do you have the Honda read?
I do have the Honda read.
I like Hondas, and you should.
Yeah, I want a Honda car, and then
Honda, if you'd like to give us a car to drive to the game tonight, I will take it.
It's time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
Let me pull it up.
Oh my gosh!
We were stalling for you, Mal.
And here we go.
Come on.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your helpful Honda dealer today or visit NorthTexasHondaDealers.com to learn more.
If you've got questions, high school football, large gap, college football. There's UTEP New Mexico State this weekend.
Woo!
Yeah.
College football's back.
You can do that. High school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel. Mallory's, where she's going tonight. Where are you going tonight?
I'm going to Cedar Hill and Rockwall.
Oh, nice.
Banger.
Very excited.
If you got questions about that, if you got questions about all things high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, get them in the comments.
Send me the romance questions. 'Cause,
send-
Since Step the romance.
Step.
He is Mr. Romance.
Yeah.
Exactly right. He
I'm
is
just the regular
he
fashion
is,
plate over here.
Listen. You and I are both in an exclusive club of dudes who outkick their coverage. So
Yeah.
we obviously know a little something.
Yeah. What's up?
What's that? Anyway, get your questions on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch if you've got questions for us. Has anybody asked any questions, Mallory?
Yes, I can go ahead and do one. This one's kind of interesting. So somebody asked, Step and Tep, what high school stadiums are still on your bucket list?
Well, one of them is
Go ahead,
what
Tep.
we're doing in a couple weeks. Actually, Pickle's out in El Paso. Or the reason Malpal's here is because Pickle is out in El Paso doing the game for it's Canutillo and Burgess.
Yeah,
El Paso
Canutillo and
Burgess,
Burgess,
tonight. She's doing that for Bally on Texas Football Days tonight. 6:30 p.m. pregame, 7:30 p.m. kickoff from Colleyville Heritage versus Grapevine. Anyway, we are.
She's living her best life in El Paso right now.
But in
She
2
really
weeks, in
is.
2 weeks' time, she's going to be back in El Paso with us, with the crew, because we're going out there for El Paso High versus El Paso Socorro
Yes.
at R.R. Jones Stadium. Now, I have been
a
to
lot
the
of
stadium.
traveling.
I've done a photo shoot at the stadium.
Yeah.
Now, I've
Wait. Oh, is this non-disclosure, Tepper? What? You did a photo shoot.
I have participated in the production of a photo shoot. I was not in front of the
You were
lens.
not the subject of the
No.
photo?
So I've been there, but I've never seen a game. And so we're all going to go out there. We have, let's be real about what happened. We flatly bullied Ray Aguilar Jr., the coach at El Paso High, into scheduling a game on Thursday because there's no reason for them to do a Thursday
No,
game.
they have their own stadium.
None. They have their own stadium. They could play anytime they want. So they always play 7 o'clock or
On Friday,
8
7 o'clock, 8 o'clock our time.
8 o'clock,
Central
8
time.
o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Mountain at R.R. Jones Stadium. We basically bullied him into putting a game on Thursday so that we can go out there and see a game.
And he did it.
And so we're going to do
He
it.
called your bluff.
He called
Tepper.
my bluff. And so we're going out there. And so that's number one on my bucket list. Number two's a different one, which maybe is some. I've never been to the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville.
Ooh, that'd be a good
and
one
they've
to go
just
to.
redone it. I know they did a bunch of renovations.
Yeah, it's
I'd love
beautiful.
to go back out there. So that's a west and an east one for you.
I've been to the Tomato Bowl, but I have not been since remodel. So I would like to go back and catch a game there for the remodel. My number one bucket list stadium is a stadium you've been to, is the Puncher Dome. I've not been to a game at the Puncher Dome.
Ooh.
It rules.
Yeah, that's probably my number one bucket list stadium now is the Puncher Dome. Man, I really don't have a number two at this point. I've been to a lot.
Have you
It's
been to
that's a
the
weird
stadium
flex.
in San Saba, the graveyard?
No, and that's and I
It's up
thought
there.
about that, but they're right next. Mason and San Saba are
You
so
could
close.
knock that. I mean, the problem is they both play on Fridays.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
you know. You went to is it Dehennis that always does a Saturday game?
Yes, I've been to a Saturday night game at Dehanus. They play on Saturday nights. You know what? Berry Field and Hondo is another one. I love that stadium. Pictures of it look great. I have not been to Berry Field and Hondo.
Okay.
So those are probably my two that I would put on the bucket list. But I have been to a. You know why I think have I told you the story why Dehanus plays on Saturday nights?
You have, and I don't remember.
All right, so Dehanus plays on Saturday nights because Hondo, which is 8 miles down the road, has always played football since like 1915. They've had a football team. Dehanus didn't start football until the 60s, really. I think the late 50s when they started their football program up. Well, half the people in D'Hanis and Hondo are related. So the people in D'Hanis are so used to going to Hondo games on Friday nights to watch their cousins or nephews or whatever play that they decided to play their home games on Saturday so the Hondo people could come watch D'Hanis play on Saturday night. And Coach Langfeld there, when he first got there, tried to convince the school board to change the games to Friday night, and they were having none of it. So he said, "Well, I guess I got a deal playing on Saturday night."
Yeah.
So that's,
you don't want to make enemies. On
when I went to the D'Hanis Saturday night game, there were a ton of Hondo people there. So
Interesting.
It's a unique little high school tradition they have there in D'Hanis.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Malpal?
This one's pretty good. It says, you think Duncanville will give Mater Dei a game?
Yeah. I think this Duncanville team's really good, and I think that their defense is going to be outrageous.
Is it Mater Dei or Mater Dei?
Mater Dei, I think.
That's what I thought.
I think it's going to be outrageous. I'm gonna plead ignorance here, which is something I should probably just start every show with.
Yeah.
I know almost nothing about Mater Dei. At least this 2021 team.
I just know they have a lot of. They're a private school, recruit factory basically. And they're going to be loaded. I mean, I think Duncanville's going to hang in there. I hope Duncanville wins because I'm a Texas homer. I don't know if they'll win. Mater Dei is probably a favorite because they're higher ranked in all the national polls, but
I don't know.
We'll see.
You never know. They have to come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they have to come
maybe
here.
the heat and humidity gets to them a little bit.
Exactly right. So that's something to keep an eye on.
I rarely say this, but go Duncanville.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we this is a game where we can issue a clear rooting interest,
Yes.
which is
Exactly.
we're rooting for Duncanville. What I'm going to be very interested in is I want to see what this again. This is one of those things that I don't care if Duncanville starts 0-1. I mean, I do, but I don't care if they start 0-1. What I want to see is what's this offense look like.
That's quarterback Solomon James, who transferred in from Corsicana when his dad got hired on staff.
And they were so reliant last year on Roderick Daniels and a couple of guys who are now gone. Now they're always loaded. They don't got to worry about having dudes, but. What does it look like early? How do they function? Because I also think that I don't worry about the Duncanville defense this year. I think that Duncanville defense is going to cook.
Yeah,
they're going to be really good. Amari Abor and Jordan Crook, I think they're awesome. I think they're going to be really, really good. My question is going to be what I want to watch from this game is how well we have to figure the Mater Dei defense is going to be pretty good. How well do they move the ball against what figures to be a pretty good defense? You know what I mean? That is to me a big thing. But I mean, the offensive line should hold up. I don't know. It's going to be a very very interesting. It's one of those things, I don't know. It's like this reminds me a lot of when Pulaski Academy came to Highland Park. You remember a couple of years ago, and they beat them, and they they ended their long home winning streak or something like that, and people were freaking out. Is this the end of oh my gosh, is Highland Park broken? They might have won a title that year.
Yeah.
But it was but Pulaski Academy is at that point, they were such a bizarre, they're from Arkansas if you don't know. Such a bizarre one-off in that they were the team that never punted,
never punts, always onside kicks,
they just played second time we'll use this phrase on this podcast, but they play wild ass football, and so that I won't take a ton from what Duncanville the result from this simply because I think there's a fair argument that Mater Dei is better because they play under a different set of circumstances. That's not a knock. Good for them, but it's just the reality of the situation. It's like any time that last year didn't IMG Academy come in and beat Duncanville?
Yeah.
Same thing. This is very reminiscent of that. Exactly. All right, what's next, Pickle? Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
It's a force of habit. I apologize, Malpal.
That's okay.
What's next?
It's a
Malpal?
compliment, honestly, if I'm being real.
Is it?
She's watching the show, so you better be careful. She's watching.
Pickle knows what's up.
Oh, that was good. What's next, Malpal?
This is a romance question.
I love to laugh.
First step.
Oh God, are you serious? Does someone really ask a romance question of me?
Let's do it.
It just says Step. Are you missing Mrs. Step?
Oh, of course.
You can't say.
There's it, dude. Come on. Ain't you
Come on.
Let's go. Let's think this.
Of course.
Through. Think this through. I would like to.
I love you,
That was
honey.
cute. That was
I would
cute.
like to take this moment to say that I miss my wife too. So there you go.
Okay, I got another one.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comments are asking about the Rockwall and Cedar Hill game and how that's going to go. I know you mentioned it on the picks, so watch that if you haven't yet.
Yes.
But if we
You want
want to give a little bit of a...
You want to give me my thoughts on the game since you did on the picks?
Knock it out.
I think Rockwall's going to beat Cedar Hill tonight. I'm not super high on Cedar Hill right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've not the returns from folks I've talked to have not been great on Cedar Hill. I think they're going to have some.
They're
growing
work in
pains.
progress.
Yeah, they're young. They've got a young quarterback who's talented, but he's young, and I think a lot of their skill players are young. I think where Cedar Hill is going to be really good is on the defensive line and in the front seven. But Rockwall's going to score points.
Mhm.
We know that, and I just don't know if Cedar Hill is going to be able to score enough to keep up with
agree.
Rockwall tonight.
I agree,
So.
and they're going to Longhorn Stadium, which will be a feat. You know what I
Right.
mean to go and do that. But we're super high on Rockwall. I agree with the same thing. I agree with you. I think Rockwall's a favorite in this game, which sounds crazy to say, but they got hit hard by graduation. And the other thing I'll throw out there, man. And this is maybe people don't think about this, but they had some pretty big staff turnover. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of new voices in the room, and Carlos Lynn is a tremendous head coach, and I know he's filled in those gaps with really good assistants. But anytime you have new voices in the room, there's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be an adjustment.
Kind of like with an app.
It's kind of like
There you go, bingo.
So I think that could be part of it too. And I don't know. It's one of those things that this is one of those games that I am again. It's week 1. Take it with a grain of salt. If Rockwall goes out there and beats the tar out of Cedar Hill, let's talk about it. But I think Rockwall's a favorite in this one.
I think this is one of those games where Rockwall's experienced, Cedar Hill's very young. If they played in week 11, I think it might be a different game. But because they're playing in week 1, and I think you go with the experience with Rockwall.
Excellent. But let me see if I wonder what the computer says. Let's see. You can find all our computer projections, by the way, at texasfootball.com. The computer's got Cedar Hill by 4. At least,
disagree.
At least 3 of those are home
disagree
field.
with the unfeeling robot.
At least 3 of those are home field, and so they're basically saying it's a coin flip on a neutral site. I would disagrey with that. I would say that Rockwall, at least in week 1, is a more finished product,
Right.
Than Cedar Hill. So there's that. What is next, Malpal?
What game will sneak up and be the game of the night tonight?
Ooh,
That's a good
this
one.
is a good question. I
got one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
let's
got
hear it.
one. I think Abilene and Amarillo Tascosa is going to be a really good game tonight.
Mhm.
Abilene's going on the road to Amarillo. I think that's going to be because Tascosa to me is one of the favorites, if not the favorite in 5A Division I, Region 1. I think Abilene is a really under the radar, sneaky kind of sleeper team. Made the 3rd round of the playoffs last year. Gave Geyer a really good game in the 3rd round last year. And Abilene High brings back a lot. I think this is a good test for both teams. I think it's going to be a really fun game to watch in the Panhandle.
I think there are a couple of options, and this is he's basically asking or he or she. I should clarify. What's the hipster game tonight? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a couple. Cristobal and Wink. I know we talked about in Tup and Step. That game has a chance to be not only really fun, but also really interesting. We can gain a lot from seeing that game. I think that game's going to be really interesting. Joaquin and Beckville is going to be a lot of fun.
They played last night.
Who won?
Yeah, hang on.
Hold on. Who? Okay, never mind.
I got the score. I have the score. I'll tell you the score.
There you
Beckville won 50-39.
Let me give you one. Beckville won. Good for them. I think I got that right. One last one, and this is one that maybe people aren't paying attention to. Springtown hosts Glenrose. Very interested in this one. Keep an eye on that one. Keep an eye on the Porcupines.
Good 4A game.
Good 4A games. There. I also think Pearland and Fort Bend and Ridgepoint could be fun.
I'm really high on Ridgepoint. Bert Emanuel Jr. That's a
I think
really
they're
good
gonna be
Ridgepoint team.
Anyway, those are some games that might steal the show tonight. What's next, Malpal?
And some people are also asking about Salina and Melissa. Which should be
banger.
a good one.
Banger.
I think Rob's going to that game.
I think so.
Say hi to Rob if you're there.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this because I think we have Melissa 3rd in the state, and we feel really good about Matt Nally's squad, especially bringing back Sam Finnegan as good as he's been.
They're going to be explosive. Melissa's explosive.
Yeah, I have some questions about their defense, and that is going to be very interesting in this one, especially going up against the Salina offense that brings back a ton.
Yeah.
Brings back 9 starters.
Salina's offense is really good up front.
Yes.
They look like an old school Salina offensive line.
This is one of those take the eye off the ball games in the sense that I want to watch what happens in the trenches to tell me how this is going to go. And that's why I'm really intrigued by this because I think there's a fair chance. I
have a slight lean to Salina in this game, but
I'm a slight lean to Melissa.
Yeah, it's a pick 'em type game.
Melissa. I think it may be fair to say that Melissa has the better skill players.
Absolutely, yeah.
They have the better skill players. But if Salina just eats up front, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that I'm very interested in. I think this is the computer has it. Hold on. The computer has it as a 6-point game. They have Melissa by 6. I think it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
I think this game is really interesting and a good measuring stick for
both teams.
I think we're going to learn a lot about both of these teams. So Melissa and Salina will be a banger. What's next?
Some people are kind of concerned about Gladewater's loss to Gilmer last night.
I'm
You
not.
know, it's kind of a hefty loss.
Two things.
So
Two
Yeah.
things.
I'm
wanna
not.
talk about that.
I think Gladewater would be fine.
I think Gladewater will be fine. That's 17 straight for Gladewater.
Yeah.
Gilmer over Gladewater.
But that pisses those Gladewater people off a bit.
And
it's a 4A D2 versus a 3A.
yeah, so I don't take a ton of. I also think Gilmer's super good, guys. Like, I think it's one of those things that like you can take something from a loss, right, and admit that there are some warts you want to figure out. But that's why you schedule the game is to find those warts before you get into district play. There are some warts. The defense has obviously got to figure some things out, especially in the secondary.
But Gilmer's really good offensively.
Gilmer's super good, guys.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is the big, like, when I looking at that game, my reaction is not what's wrong with Gladewater. My reaction is like, okay, we're right about Gilmer being the number 2 team in 482.
What impressed me about Gilmer is their defense last night.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew Gilmer was going to score points, but Gilmer's defense did a heck of a job last night.
Well,
So
and we
I
had
think-
questions about about Gladewater's quarterback situation.
Yeah.
We know they have
Young
DJ
quarterback.
Allen, but that's something that's going to have to develop. And I don't think week 1 you need to be break glass in case of emergency.
Gladewater will be
Against
fine.
the number 2 team in a classification bigger than you. Like, don't worry. I'm not saying Gladewater's perfect. What I'm saying is take last night with a grain of salt. There's going to be a lot of those results.
It's that classic. We don't overreact to week 1
Exactly.
too much.
Yeah.
Exactly right. What's next, Malpal?
We can go to Pickle's question.
Oh.
Can we just skip it, please?
Can we just cancel the show forever?
We don't accept
I'm
questions.
looking at-
in
we
the-
Actually,
go-
can I throw another? This is a question from three questions ago. Another game that I'm really interested in:
What's that?
Port Arthur Memorial and Lancaster.
Oh yeah, great cross regional.
That game's a weirdo matchup with a debut of a new head coach at Lancaster, and Leon Paul. What do they look like against a team in Port Arthur Memorial that is just so? They're very different from a lot of the teams you're going to see in DFW. You know what I mean? Like this is a mashing
and
Port
it's
Arthur Memorial
really
team.
Lancaster. Really, this is their only real big regular season test.
Because they're
We're not going to learn a lot about Lancaster once district starts.
So this is one of those things that it stinks, but we've got to parse pretty much everything from this Lancaster game tonight because they're going to get into district and guys they're going to win handily in almost all in every one of their games.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's
I
fine.
just saw it
It's-
on my I saw it on my computer like, "Ooh, I forgot about that."
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she just wants to know her thoughts on her game tonight, Cantillo and
Oh,
Burgess.
Cantillo and El Paso
So I think we
Burgess.
should discuss
I think
that.
it's a really good competitive game. Canutillo is always tough. They don't usually have a lot of big names. That state semifinal team was really a team that just kind of just played great defense and was really sound. And
Some of their
didn't-
parts, yeah.
Not a lot of star power. They actually have a star this year in LJ Martin, who's got a couple of D1 offers, and you got Tavoris Jones over at Burgess, who's got a lot of talent as well. I lean Oh gosh.
Oh my God.
I lean
Many
slightly.
people forget that.
I lean slightly to Burgess in this game.
I do too.
Very slightly, but I think it's going to be a good ball game. I think it's going to be a matter of if Canutillo can keep Burgess from breaking the big. I don't think Burgess is going to be able to march 10 plays, 12 plays. It's going to be big plays. If Canutillo limits the big plays, I think they got a shot.
I think it might be. Is it the best game in El Paso? I think it might be the best game in El Paso. It's at least one of the most intriguing
I think
games.
Parkland and Eastwood
Yeah.
are playing, and that's a really good game.
That's
as
a good
well.
game,
There's a couple
too.
good games in El Paso. tonight.
But yeah, I would say I'm very interested, especially because you're right. Canutillo is just a very they're sound ball club. They go out there and they're also another team that, like, we're talking about teams that come out of the oven baked. You know what I mean? We talk about Argyle. Argyle's taking on Fort Worth Nolan tonight. I think they're going to win, and in large part that is because Argyle always starts like fast.
Yeah.
They are a team that always looks good right out of the gates. This Cantillo is one of those teams too, and so for Burgess has the individual superstar. They've got the guy in Tavoris Jones, but I think that this is one of those games where how much does it matter that Cantillo traditionally starts strong? That's going to be
It's a good point.
something I'm keeping an eye on. What's next, Malpal?
This one's kind of for me. So
That's okay.
She's calling ISO.
Yeah,
like,
she's
"Clear
calling
out,
for the ball.
Clear
Clear
out.
out for Mallory. She's posting up.
Here's the clear out.
okay, so Malpal, would you rather run the ship with Tep and Step or have an all-girls Mailbag Friday with the world-famous Ashley Pickle?
Did Pickle send that question in?
No, she didn't.
I would tread very lightly on your answer here.
Oh. She doesn't report to you anymore, though, does she?
Yeah, I don't. I
I know.
don't. So I can kind of say no.
You can say whatever you want. I won't take offense.
She reports to Scoops.
Scoop.
Scoops. Depends. I think I have to go with Pickle though. We're a pretty good team.
I saw this morning.
It's fair. Tough,
This
but fair.
morning I went to the reason I'm in the Bally shirt is because I went to Colleyville Heritage to their pep rally, myself and Erin Hardigan, and I was speaking with Erin Hardigan, and she asked, when's the next time I can come on the show? And I told her she has an open invitation.
I do think one day you should do a Hardigan Pickle Malpal show and just let those three go and just see where it goes. Just see where it takes.
Bring a bottle of
Maybe
wine.
not do it during football season. Maybe like during the have an
That's
off-season
a good
show
off-season
Bring a bottle
show.
of
and just let those.
There's a
three
couple of Pickle
go.
already had some ideas for what we need to do in the off season. There's 2 guests that are on her list. One of them is the guy who reviews chocolate milk on YouTube.
Oh,
She
yeah,
wants
that
to get
guy's
him on.
awesome.
That guy, I want to get him on. The other one, because I sent her a link. There's a guy who wrote a book. He's a Delaware-based horticulturalist. He wrote a book about plants that deer won't eat. The reason I bring that up is
That's the Lano coming out in pickles.
the reason I bring this up is because his name is Greg Tepper.
Jeez.
That's too much Greg Tepper energy on one
And
show.
That is too.
And so I've never talked with anybody who has my name.
There's a Matt Stepp out there who's like I think he's like a weather type guy, or he's like a scientist. He's way smarter than me, apparently.
Could you is at Matt Stepp available on Twitter?
No, I think he has it.
He has it.
Yeah.
Could we buy it from him?
No, he probably makes a lot of money. He'd probably be.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
got at Mallory Hartley, right?
I do.
It's pretty good.
I think there's a.
Pickle's mad because at Pickle is like somebody's just
Is the-
squatting on it. There's no they don't tweet. They're just squatting on it.
jerks.
You know. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's next?
That's
People
okay.
want to know about their games.
Yeah,
Sorry.
send in questions.
Yeah.
I don't really see any right now.
Let me check
So
our Twitch.
if
If you got any questions, or we'll wrap it up, guys. I've got stuff I can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Allen has a new quarterback. Kim.
Oh yeah, I just saw. Yeah, that one.
No, Allen's gonna roll.
Allen is gonna be fine. Don't worry about Allen.
Allen's quarterback is going to be really good.
Yes, I think Allen's quarterback is going to be very good. I think they're going to be just fine. Now, we mentioned this on Tep and Step. We like Chad Morris a lot, and I think maybe next year they're going to be super legit and like a team that could win a state championship. They're going to be back to their normal Allen stuff. I also think Region 2 has caught up with them. Region 1. I think Region 1 has caught up with them in a lot of ways.
I think it'll be a little bit of a transition year
I
for
think
Allen. That's why I said in preseason, if this is the year Geyer can get
Yeah.
Allen, I think it lines up for Geyer to get Allen.
Yes, most certainly.
Yeah.
So there is that. What's next?
But they'll win tonight.
Malpal.
Handily.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. Any questions? Or
Oh.
we're wrapping it up.
Maybe here's one. Last question. Thoughts on Franklin and Lorena?
Another game that thank you. Another game
Yeah.
that absolutely could steal the show tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Franklin's our number 1 team in 3 Division 2. Lorena's a 4A?
381.
381. They're bigger. I know they're bigger. And Lorena's good, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Lorena's going to be really good. This is a big early test for Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the kind of thing that I'm going to be very interested in the details of. That if Franklin goes out there and they paced Lorena, which I think there's 10%, 15% chance that happens. If they go out there and paste Lorena, it's like,
It's a great win. That's a
okay,
really good win.
Sit up and pay attention. This game's at Lorena, I think.
I think so.
Keep an eye on this one. But Lorena's legit. Lorena's
If Lorena wins, I don't think we should bury Franklin.
No, I don't
Lorena's
think
a
so
top
either.
15 381
Yeah,
team.
I think so too. It depends on how this goes and how it looks, and that's one thing we're going to be keeping an eye on the margins and stuff, and what this team, and also we're going to text people down there, and if somebody says, hey man, like Franklin is taking it to Lorena, even if it's close on the scoreboard, you know what I mean? That's one of those things that you take in with the context.
I saw Jacob John put one last question in
All right.
there about asking about O'Connor and
Here's it.
Brandeis.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've got one more after that.
Okay.
Cool.
We're good.
Because we're ahead of schedule. O'Connor is down.
Yeah.
Yes, they were down last year. They're down this year. I think they are a little down. Brandeis is pretty good. Brandeis brought a lot back. They're going to be a contender in that district, and O'Connor's a little down. So
I agree with all of that. So, all right, you got an ender?
Yeah. A player that we don't know but will after tonight.
Ooh.
that's a good question.
That is a good question. After tonight. Well, I mean, last night, if you didn't know the name Richard Torres, you should know the name Richard
He
Torres.
threw
If you
for
didn't
8
hear,
touchdowns last
the
night.
San Antonio Southside quarterback against Brownsville
Porter,
Porter,
I believe.
became the 59th player in UIL 11-man Texas high school ball history to throw for 8 touchdown passes. Nebraska commit?
Yes, he's committed to Nebraska.
Kid's legit. So if you don't know San Antonio Southside core, and by the way, San Antonio Southside's gonna be really good, guys.
They are gonna be good.
I think a lot of it depends on what how Corpus Christi Vets fills their quarterback spot, and a lot of it depends on how Flower Bluff fills in this pieces around Nash Viegas. But if you're looking for a team that could crash the party in 5A D2, 5A D2,
D1,
5A D1 in Region 4, Southside, buy some stock. I think they're legit, and that was really impressive last night. They overmatched them, but they looked the part last night for sure.
I'd go. I'll go to a game that I saw last. I mean, if you haven't heard about Dylan Raiola,
Oh yeah, that kid's gonna be legit.
Yeah, so
that would be a guy. And then who's? I'll just throw one more out there. Let me see if I can. I don't know if do they play? Pretty sure they played tonight. Maybe they played tonight. Tompkins. Who's taking over Jalen Milrow? Do we have a quarterback name? I'm gonna look at their question.
I believe they do.
Cole Francis, maybe Cole Francis. I think the Tompkins offense is designed that it's a very quarterback-friendly offense, and so it would not be a surprise if this new Tompkins quarterback puts up big numbers in their opener. They're taking on
Magnolia on Saturday.
That's a Saturday, so that would be after Saturday. But the new quarterback there at Tompkins is a guy I'm certainly going to be keeping an eye on. Do we have an ender, Malpal?
Well, that was my ender. I don't think we have any more.
Well, then
Let me
never mind.
double-check.
No.
I was going to make
That's
that. I think that was a good ender, so I was
Fine.
expecting that to be our
Fine.
ender.
That's it. We're leaving. That's it.
Bye.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Hey, Step, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Hey, Malpal, thanks for producing.
Oh, of course. Always happy to do it.
Vince Young, please meet your player of the year trophy. Please watch Valley Sports Southwest tonight starting at 6:30 p.m. We will see you Monday on Texas Football Today.